Hey Jake, welcome.
Thank you.
Assalamualaikum.
Waalaikumsalam.
For those who do not know, Abang Jake is a Muslim, right?
Alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah. And you've been a Muslim since you were.
So I'm turning 60 in about a couple of months. So
Fuck, you don't look 60, bro. Okay. Serious ah? 60?
Alhamdulillah. 60.
Okay.
So I was born, I'm the start of Gen X lah. So which is 1965.
Okay.
So I became a Muslim, and actually the reason we say revert and not convert is
Right.
because as a Muslim we must believe that everybody is a Muslim first.
Right.
So I became a Muslim. I reverted to Islam when I was 19.
Okay. What's driving you to
Yeah,
come to Islam?
so memang budak Sentul lah. So we were very naughty. So,
Sentul lah?
Yeah, budak Sentul. So
Taman Datuk Senu?
masa I kat sana tu Taman Datuk Senu belum ada lagi.
Betul. Lombong ni.
Ngomong ya.
So MBS lah?
MBS Sentul.
Dah budak jahat ni.
So I got into martial arts quite early. So and then after school and all that, so my friend cerita lah, ada satu tok guru kat Semenyi.
Sebenarnya?
Okay. Dia Tok Bakhtiar, dia ajar silat. So I said, silat. So non-Muslim can learn lah. Boleh, dia tak kira. So we went, and I was there for a few months, and then one day Tok Bak, who's a very educated man, said to me, Jake, why don't you convert? In that same tone, So I pun, what are you asking me to convert? No, I'm a Hindu, So he said, go and ask your father. So I even asked my father, and my father was, I didn't know he will react so well, So he said, okay, just do me a favor. Tell Tok Bak, kalau I meninggal, you have to do your rights as a Hindu son. Or as a son. So I went and asked him. He said, okay, and next day, I kali syahadat and I was a Muslim.
Wow.
Just like that.
Just like that.
So people think it's marriage and stuff like that. Everybody have their different way. So I got in that way while I didn't embrace Islam at that point in the maximum way, but we all have to understand that we find our way in our own time. Yeah,
That's true. I mean, a lot of us are born Muslim and we don't pray maybe until like we're 35. No, I'm certainly in that
I don't
category.
judge. Yeah,
Right. So I born Muslim. That was a revert juga. He reverted to Islam because of, I guess, marriage lah. 1 or 2 years prior to the marriage to my mom. I wasn't a good Muslim, obviously. In my 20s, begin to understand, find God in my 30s, and Alhamdulillah, I'm grateful. Like what you said, the journey is different from one person to another.
completely. Yes.
Yeah, and you've been married, right? You have how many children?
Yes, I have. I've been married and divorced, but right now I'm married again for the last 8 years. My wife is Fuzi. She has 2 kids,
Okay.
30 and 25. I have 3 kids, 30, 25, and 20.
Okay.
So all dah besar lah. And we got 1 cucu lah.
Oh, dah ada cucu lah?
Cucu.
Serious lah, bro?
Yeah.
How old is the cucu?
4 years old.
4 years old. Wow. So how many cucu?
One only. So one is on the way lah.
Okay lah. Born last week ada 6 lah. 6 cucu. Macam, yeah. So it's like we are all been reverse aging lah. So you are doing a lot of stuff, bro. Right? So tell us a little bit about your professional journey. So you started as a silat guy in your teens.
Yeah, so I was actually a DJ. I started off as a DJ. Club DJ. I was one of the very first club DJs who could mix in Malaysia. Playing in clubs, getting drunk at night. It's a true story, so and all that. Then at the age of 1988, I won the first Malaysian DJ contest.
Oh.
1988. Then 1988, I started Malaysia's first hip-hop band. So for you to claim that they were the first hip-hop is wrong. It was crash course, okay? Pergi cari betul sejarah awal.
This is what, 19?
1988. So then I was DJing for a very long time.
I would have thought you come with a big t-shirt dengan topi sengit ni, bro.
So I'm a chameleon lah. So because of, budak Sentul bapak kerja kerani kat KTM kan. So you have to survive. So then I got into music, got into clubs, and then got into some really good clubs. And then at one point I decided to start my own club. And Allah has got a very funny way of showing us the right way lah.
Right.
So and that time, Aflin Shauki, right?
Of course.
Aflin Shauki is a band guy. He could sing. So he was playing in my club. Then he told me, he says, Miasat tengah cari DJ. Miasat was Astro.
Right.
At that point. tengah cari DJ. And that time my daughter was just born. Just born, so this 30 years ago.
First marriage lah.
30 years ago. And then I said, go and try lah. So I don't want to work at night lah, So I went for the interview, I got the job. So I was music executive for Hits FM in 1996.
Wow.
So fast forward, and between 1996 to 2012, I got promoted many times. I was the Chief Content Officer. 2012, I did some work for Datuk Sri Najib, and I was asked to run I Am For You as CEO. Probably the most interesting time of my life, like 2012 to 2013, I got to travel with him. We did some incredible work. 2013, day after election, Dato Rohana asked me to come back to Astro as CEO of Astro Radio and Rocket Fuel. So I ran two companies. I came back to Astro, and then I was there till 2019. I left, joined Fave as MD. COVID hit. I was 55 already. I said, malas. So I decided that I don't want to work for people anymore, because I started to not to say become more Islamic, but I started to read and understand a little bit more. I read the Quran many times in English. I haven't read it in Arabic, but I've read it. So I started to understand. I realized that we must do business. As a Muslim, it's essential for us to become businessmen. It's one sunnah, So I said, you know what? Even if it's smaller money, before when you're CEO, you got this, you got rival, you got
entourage, privilege.
Hello, Dato. All disappeared. Then I started my own. I started consulting. So I consult several companies now. I consult Media Prima, I consult Cases Bank Rakyat, Mara. I just started a bit of work with Petronas. So I consult them. Apart from that, like I said, I still dabble in a little bit of Silat.
Until
now. You never end, so you never, a little bit of Silat.
You're a loyal man, bro.
I like
Silat, Liverpool.
I got my MBA from University of Liverpool just because it's Liverpool.
I don't think because of the studying lah.
It is one of the hardest MBAs to get from University of Liverpool, but
you purposely go there, right?
Yeah, I wanted that. Yeah, so it's been an interesting life. I cannot complain. Alhamdulillah, I'm in the last 5 years or so, I've become more a thinking man. Got me closer to my religion. I wrote a book called Book of Jake 2 years ago. Yeah. So it's just about my life story. It's about all the incredible things that happened to me and how it has taught me the lesson. My next book is out in October. It's called Be Uncomfortable. Why do I write this? Because I guess it's just a way of sharing my experience. Bukan I tahu semua. It's just that everything you read in that book is actually things that I made mistakes. Those are my mistakes that I learned from. So yeah, it's a very short story of me actually. Yeah.
So why bother sharing? Why do you think it's useful to share? I mean, I'm with you. That's what I'm doing.
Why it is important to share is we show people a faster way of reaching somewhere.
Absolutely.
Whether they accept or not, it's irrelevant.
Absolutely.
So I coach leaders. I coach CEOs and
prime ministers.
And
Some ex-prime ministers.
Datuk Sri Najib is a joy to work with. I have to be very, very honest. But so now I coach CEOs and VPs and senior VPs and stuff like that. Because I've been in the industry, in the corporate line for 30 years, suddenly I'm known as an authority. My style is I'll only tell you what I know.
Fair enough.
So
I think it's a great style because a lot of people pretending to talk, shit they don't know
a lot of
about.
them are theoretical.
Yeah.
So they have not walked. So that's why I do what I do. And I love the fact that social media is so prevalent and you can get your voice over every angle. And I love social media. It's used well. So every morning after Subuh prayers, I'm putting my content here or my content there. So and it's very nice because people tell me like, hey, Jake, thank you so much. Thank you so much. I read it. And I don't know these people,
Yeah.
So maybe I do it for the small acknowledgement. I don't know. Yeah.
I can certainly relate. I've got a lot of men who, after we begin to speak for men, doing Podcast Lelaki, they become a silent supporter, silent reader, and they've come and thank. hey, I really appreciate it. I'm going through a divorce, and thanks to you, I, do it in a right way, classy way. You don't air anything in public. You do your part as a ex-husband. You
That's
look
so
after your
important.
wife.
That's a very good point, actually.
Yeah. So which comes back to people always question the motive of sharing. Mesti nak jual benda, or mesti bitter, right? Mesti tersakiti, right? And they think it comes from that. When the reality is that people don't understand the joy of, if you can share something, a fucked up that you did, and people can learn from it, avoid that fucked up, and they come and thank us, is a feeling that is very hard for you to describe in the world. The joy lah, at least for me.
Yes, but for me, I think that it is more than that. I think it's more than that. Why I share is because I naturally have the ability to speak. Some of us are, from young we are taught to speak, and I teach people how to speak. So to me, the communication, when a simple person like me, bapa I dulu kerja kerani tau. So kalau I cerita dengan orang, dia percaya. So I said, you know what, my father was, kita adik-beradik 5 orang duduk satu rumah, 2 bilik. So I'm actually telling a story. So to me, communication is about storytelling. And suddenly it becomes believable. Whenever I go and speak, people are saying, I like what you said. But I'm actually saying the same thing. It is just that communication is actually a skill. And I have to use this as an example is, the Quran is the only book that is untainted from inception till now.
Correct.
And still, most people cannot actually grasp its true meaning. It comes to you in different forms, right? It is the same thing, But what if you just read it from what it is? It's the same thing. Like if I tak ada kias lah, kalau I cakap macam ni lah, orang faham. So that is my style. So when I teach people communication, I teach people I said, you don't have to speak for people not to understand. I did a podcast with Tun. And I think he's he's one of the best. His birthday is tomorrow, by the way, 100 years. And I think he's one of the best speakers because you know what? Dia cakap macam ni je, kita boleh dah faham. Cakap apa nama ni, and we understand. Tak payahlah pakai, jargon.
To look sophisticated.
Yeah. So I guess like you too, you're speaking your mind, and I saw some of your podcasts. I guess you appeal to men because you're sharing. And sharing is something that men are not very good at doing. Sebab they don't want to be seen vulnerable.
Yes.
Kalau I cakap macam ni, mungkin diorang pandang aku rendah. I become lower. I become, they don't look at me. But men are, that's why we become like this, because we are not allowed to share our vulnerability. So I guess your podcast is a perfect way of, us actually looking and says, you know what? Maybe we are all like that, we're just afraid. So well done on that, yeah.
Communication. I'm under the view that most men don't know how to communicate. So, which is why the difference between someone who makes 15,000 and sometimes someone who makes 8,000, even though the skill set is completely the same, is actually communication skill.
Yes.
What would you think the impact of your communication skill, being able to speak clearly, translate a complicated subject to something that a lot of people can understand?
Okay, so I don't know who said this. It could be Einstein. I'm not sure. He said, explain it to me like a 5-year-old. And that's how it should be. When I was working with Datuk Sri Najib, we worked with some of Obama's people also. And they taught us how to communicate. So we need to be able to express very clearly. And you're actually right. Because if you ask me, who's a better president, Obama or Trump or this, optics alone and the way he speaks tell us Obama was a better president.
Exactly.
I don't know whether he was because I don't have the data. But if you look, everything was trained. So you can train a person to actually speak. And you're right. The propensity to earn suddenly is different.
Yes.
Kalau orang, apa ni kau, you know what I mean? Not. So I guess communication doesn't mean you have to be polished. Communication means I say, you understand and you react. That is communication. Kadang-kadang kita, like you said, jargon, we look so good and all that. But if the person cannot, understand and express, what's the point? Yeah.
I mean, I was a software engineering graduate, right? So I don't speak to people as part of my work. I speak to computers, and it's it's terrible, right? I decided that's not I want to do in my life. Then I wanted to become an entrepreneur or an investor because that's the only way to get wealthy because I was born poor. So I began to do this thing called sales job. So I sell credit card on the street, kedai makan lah, petrol station and whatnot. The reason why I do that because I wanted to learn sales skill. The additional benefit I'm getting, which I can use for the rest of my life, is actually my ability to communicate, empathize with people, reading cues from people. Because sales, you have to read cues, right? This guy, open, not open, and all that. So I find that skill set to be extremely useful for the for the next 20 years of my life. And then since then, my English got a lot better. I've never failed a job interview. So I went to any job interview and I got the job. And I normally...
Is that because your confidence is improved?
Yes. So English has gotten better, which then translate to better confidence. And you are confident in saying certain things like Andrew Tate lah. Some things he might not know the full story, but he plays confident.
Are you an Andrew Tate fan?
So I think he's very smart. So I think he's a highly intelligent person. I do not believe 100% in his worldview. I probably agree with 30 to 50%.
Okay, then we can level up here.
Yeah. So I think he's smart. I think there's a lot of things that he say makes sense. He say in a way that he said it like similar to DMA, right? Purposely to rile and piss people off and all. And like I said, it's a very intelligent thing to go and do. We've debated the possibility of me becoming Andrew Tate Malaysia. Fuck no.
But he's got cred. He's an athlete. He's he's got that. But if you ask me to pick, I always go with Stephen Butler, the Joe Rogan. So to me, he got that empathy. So because. Yeah, Andrew Tate to me is very masculine, so what if you're not? What if you're not? Does it make you less masculine?
Correct.
So, too alpha for me.
Yeah. I think Stephen Butler is a right balance. Joe Rogan is right balance. I really love and follow Jordan Peterson.
Yeah, Jordan Peterson is, I would say at the other end of it. Like Jordan Peterson is probably the most intelligent person that we can talk about.
Yeah.
But highly controversial on his views on masculinity and all that.
So, but he's he is not that masculine. He's very articulate. He drives his points.
He's a thinker.
Yeah. Purely from the mind point of view, which I tend to agree a lot, right? So yeah, I think it's interesting. I think it's just us looking at various people and absorbing what makes sense and what doesn't make sense, and you don't, right? Because
so can I ask you something?
Sure.
Since you're doing this podcast on men and all that, what do you think about Malaysian men and their insecurities? Kenapa orang Malaysia ni? I feel like Malaysian men. And I'm generalizing here. They have to be macho. Is it true? Is it, and kalau kurang...
I don't think it's a Malaysian man problem. I think it's a general man problem globally as of today. And if I were to summarize it, in a way, right, are we producing better quality husbands and father today compared to my father and your father's era? The answer is absolutely like 10 times, 20 times.
Why would you say that?
Because if you look at, for example, metrics of how many hours spent with children
That's true.
today versus back then, I think there's a research that says we are spending 20 times more, right? Yet, the narrative here is that in a way, man isn't doing enough, right? So relatively to our father and grandfather, we are doing far more, right?
I think we're distracted more.
Yeah. So my viewpoint, I can't remember where I read this, but I agree to this. We're essentially paying for the sins of our father and our grandfather.
True.
So that's what the young man is facing. They don't know why they are getting blamed. They keep on being told that they're not doing enough. Social media has made it worse for everyone simply because you could be doing an okay job. then your partner suddenly watch her girlfriend,
Comparison.
married to someone, and they're on a private jet going somewhere. Why are you not capable like this guy?
Comparison.
Right? So comparison is a thief of joy, and social media completely wreck everything. And I think people have got very little sense of what their real value is. So I think one of the comment here, social media makes a good man feels that he's a very average man.
I would want to disagree with you here. I'll
Right.
tell you why. Because again, like I said, I love social media, but I'm the filter of what I absorb. My feed is always about fitness, about good food, about healthy food, about people like Dan Martell, Stephen Bartlett, Jordan Peterson. It's about some Quranic verses that is good for me, and so my feed is that. My algorithm feeds me that. Kalau kita biasa tengok benda-benda yang bodoh lah, yang remeh, yang alah makcik ni pergi sana, this one, that one, then we are going to be fed with that. I think the fastest way for us to learn is to understand how we filter. I've seen people I've seen people that, So for me, I use social media and how am I going to grow and how am I going to give back? Everything that I do has got to have a positive impact. I've gone through some bad times. I lost millions before, but you never hear me complain. Because you know why? Nobody cares. And that's the absolute truth.
No one gives a shit.
I've lost. I can't even talk about it. Sometimes I want to cry, then I laugh, and I say, Allah is the master planner. So to me is, what do you want you to do? That book is about that. It says, stop complaining. Grab your own life, pick it up. You can do so many things with your life. So, and I do agree with you because, compare lah. My friends was telling me his daughter was complaining, she's going through depression and all this because pasal social media. So I guess there needs to be some kind of guidance from parents lah. I think kita anak dah 4 tahun dah iPad dah macam ni. When I spoke about that, somebody got angry with me. I said it's dopamine effect from 4.
It completely wrecks their brain.
Yeah.
So I mean, I was a divorcee, right? And I divorced in 2021. Since then, I begin to date. Interestingly, I've got people who are in their very early 20s, sometimes even teens, right? 19. Match, date. Which then I ask, hey, our age group is very big. Why wouldn't you go for someone who is of a comparable age? So most of the time, these young girls basically pick a matured man. I don't want to say old man, right? So mature, right? Largely because they don't have masculine love at home.
Okay. Makes sense.
Right? So if they're not hearing "I love you," you're doing great, daughter, from their father or from their brother, they're gonna seek that validation externally.
Can I share with you something I read
Sure.
about just the general DNA of men? So men are very primal.
Yeah.
We look at women at looks, body, and all that. Because why? In our best state, we are looking to actually procreate the perfect baby. That's it, You have to understand. We are very simple. We're so primitive.
I agree.
But it's our DNA.
Yeah.
It's our DNA
Yeah.
to be able to create the perfect decision for us.
Yep.
Women, on the other hand, are not. They are looking for stability. Stability can come those days, stability, big, tough man, he goes out, he's kijang, dia bawa, it's different. But these days, what is a confident man? Somebody who's doing well in life. So it's no different.
It's security and stability.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, so I'm not saying it's material, but for them it's important. It is still going back to the primal views. I mean, this is my view. I could be totally wrong. I could be totally wrong. I mean, these days they say, your equality and all that. But generally, women want a man to take care of them. I know some women say, no, I'll be happy if one woman pays my bills.
Yeah.
Hands up.
Yeah.
I mean,
2 women go on a date, both of them look at the check. They did a ladies club, ladies night. So all the women just standing there.
gonna pay.
No one is paying for drinks.
Who's gonna open the door?
Who's gonna open the door? Yeah.
So it's primal. It's to me primal, which is really amazing. Also, I give you another fact that I read. So we are XY chromosomes, and in the last 10 years, the male chromosome has diminished. That's why you see a lot of female being born. Those days, because of your natural high testosterone levels, you still kalau anak pertama, kedua mesti lelaki.
Lucky, betul?
It's different now. And this is proven. So maybe I read too much, I'm a nerd or what, I don't know, but it's affecting us.
It is. I would say, an addition to that here is that in the beginning, that's what you seek for as a man. Procreate, build a family, work, making sure everyone is fed, then you die. I think today, once you have accomplished that, which is your basic, in a way, need, then you look for the next thing.
It's a second wife.
Relates to that, relating to that, okay,
kidding.
right? So, relating to that, and there's a reason why people who are not capable are looking for second wife or whatever, right? And what they seek for is actually respect, bro.
It's a good point.
So you see, for example, there are people who turn down jobs that give a lot of money, but does not
agree.
give respect.
I agree.
So if you look at how men behave, right, the most very primitive way, I would say, from thousands of years ago up until today, we actually seek validation because for
Validation
men,
and dominance.
respect is love,
Yeah, you're absolutely right.
right? So that's why people, they go the trouble of marrying 2-3 women, even though one already cannot handle, right?
You're still looking for the respect, huh?
Yeah. Simply
Why did
because,
all three don't give you the respect? You're number 4.
but people don't know, is it? People outside don't know that you are suffering. Having, 2 partners, both of them don't want to see your face, right? People don't know. All people say, oh, bro, you champion. Yo, champion, bro, you champion. No, I 2 years ago, I saw this happening in real life on social media, right? Which is when, oh, shit, everything now clicks. There was 3 real estate agents, I'm in the property field, right? 2 of them changed car. One changed to a Lambo, one changed to a McLaren. Right? So a few hundred people comment, congrats, nice car, blah, blah, blah. One guy, one simple photo of the woman. Guys, sorry lama tak update, third wife. Beribu, bro. Beribu. He went into my media and some shit, So for men, bro.
Is it a sense of pride among the Malays?
No, because they know it's difficult to do. So owning a Lamborghini is difficult to do. What's more difficult than that? Yeah. Yeah. So I think
Is that part of your plan?
I think polygamy makes sense.
Okay.
Mathematically speaking, I have successfully asked ChatGPT and Gemini to build a mathematical model to talk about polygamy.
I don't think I will convince my wife on this. I'm 60 years old. I'm happy. I'm enjoying my life. I'm traveling.
Right. So if you have something that works for you, great. But I think the idea of,
Which is something that I want to talk about. I think men need purpose.
yeah,
That's what you said just now. So I think most of us are just wondering and kais pagi, makan pagi, and then you're just wondering, and then you don't have a goal, right? I mean, as Muslims, we all know that this is just a passing, it's hereafter, and then we move to next life, right?
Yeah.
But still, my greatest fear, and I talk about this a lot, my greatest fear is I die and I go into Allah, and Allah say, what happened, Jake? I planned for you so much, you only reached here. So people ask me, why do I work so long hours? Why do I try everything? Why do I still DJ? Why do I do PT after 9:30? I got a PT. Why do I coach people? Why? I'm doing everything. Okay, why? Because I can.
yep,
Because to me, this is God given.
Yep.
I was last week. I was spinning a set with KJ, and I'm 60 years old, and the DJs before me were 19 years old. And I was just laughing, And to me, it's because I can, and I believe that
because you can fuck.
because
Fuck, yes!
exactly because you know why. We need a purpose.
Yeah.
The problem with problem with men who, when they are starting to age 40 and above, their purpose dies off. You said, dah ada anak, dah ada, this one, that one, they are waiting for their 55 to collect their EPF, and it stops.
Yeah,
And then they age really fast.
correct. I think most men today, I give an example, right? Purpose, right? And I think this is what women normally struggle. They don't understand. Why does my man prefer to spend time at home? spend time at work, going outside, rather than spending time at home with me? Does he not love me? Right? And the reality is that, again, men are just stupidly primitive.
I do agree.
Yeah. We are just very simple creature. Right?
It's so simple, you know.
Right? I had a Datuk developer friend, had a Lamborghini, Rolls Royce. People line up for a couple of months to have a lunch meeting or dinner meeting with him. And he complains when you go home, he's alone. No one gives a shit. Children doesn't want to spend time with him. Wife doesn't want to accompany him to eat. He doesn't get any respect, So therefore, some men, the only time they get respect, because, after 40, 50, you go to a senior position, you're MD, exec. So you spend time at the place that you are more appreciated at. Right? So I think, like I said, people think I'm here to bash women. No, I'm trying to give you guys some level of understanding how men think. And we're just simple creatures. Like, literally, to make us happy is just simple.
I do agree,
Empty our balls, make sure our stomach is full, respect and quiet. That's it. That's it.
And let me watch my football game in peace.
Yes. Yes. And people.
My wife follows me everywhere when I watch football, so she
Your wife is an intelligent woman, so she understood, right? When we do podcast today, we have this conversation, right? So and last week we had a conversation with Bon, right? He got divorced in 1995, right? And he's been a bachelor for 30 years.
Oh wow.
Yeah, he's 59,
He's my age.
right? So I asked him, so takkan you never date someone?
He's not going to tell you, man. He might have a Tinder account, a Bumble account, and you know what I mean? He's not going to tell you.
No, he did. He said, I want to settle down. But I couldn't find a woman that can give me my peace. Therefore, my peace is so expensive. I'm not willing to sacrifice it. Right? I mean, he's an accomplished man. He's got status.
I think it's fear. So to me, it's fear. If you ask me, as a person, as a Muslim man, you must have a wife, you must have kids. It's our duty. You said it just now. And my friend said, if somebody is single, get them married because you want them to suffer also. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
No, that's how you stop the LGBT pandemic, bro. Get them to get married, right?
So to me, but another thing that I think that is really critical for men, and you said it also just now, we are very simple people, and we tend to keep everything inside. Last month was June. June was Men's Mental Health Month, and I had some of my two close friends actually take their lives during COVID. One was a very famous singer from Slapshot, Jermaine Garcia. Wife went to a market, came back, saw him hanging. Another one was Cameron Plant, who used to work for me, Aussie guy, was in Dubai, went back to Melbourne, and then he hung himself from the fan. And I spoke to him 2 days before that. He was perfectly normal. Perfectly normal. But I guess
that's men.
That's what I'm trying to say. Men are trained to man up.
Yeah.
Even in our culture, kau jangan jadi perempuan lah. Don't be a pussy lah,
Yep.
We are taught to hold everything inside, that when we lepas. So that's why I think it's also important to acknowledge that this is important. This kind of avenue is important for men to be able to understand that they are heard, they can speak up, there's an avenue for them to talk. If not, honestly, and I do a bit of counseling also, men are afraid to share.
Yeah.
They are afraid to share.
Yep, absolutely, 100%. It's the world doesn't reward us for being vulnerable. In fact, most of the time, the world punishes, weaponizes our vulnerability against us. So, which is why after once or twice of doing that, then you just wall yourself out.
Exactly.
You put yourself into a shield.
Yeah, don't be a pussy. Stop acting like a girl. From young, we have been taught this. So I said, better not say anything, man. I might they think that I'm a soft guy.
Yeah. And I think people are just because they don't understand context. They can be quite cruel sometimes. So I did a stage content of Datuk Ali Shukri, who spoke about when women say ceraikanlah aku and apa semua tu. This is what she means actually, right? Pujuklah aku and apa semua tu. And I just ended the video with simple, hey, you guys are the better communicator. Can you communicate clearly as women, right? And I got so much hate comment from women and men, right? So woman will say, that's why he's married and you are a divorcee. Like, ouch. So I'm not allowed to just, hey, can you guys communicate clearly just to voice my opinion, right? Number one. Then I've got some men, kau ni kenapa bitter sangat? Kenapa tersakiti sangat? And the reality, hey, I'm just asking because we're in mid-40s or 50s and we have mission to accomplish and you want us to make a certain amount of money, give you this level of style. We just can't be distracted by all this nonsense BS, which I can accept if you're dating in your 20s. But as a 40-year-old...
So priorities in life suddenly has changed,
Yes.
but you're still living the rules of when you're dating.
Correct.
So yeah, I completely agree.
Yeah,
I
which
agree with that, yeah.
which I think like men just get villainized completely just for speaking up. Women do it all the time to men, and I think what is probably the most disheartening thing for me is that I see men doing it to other men, right? Which I think,
Explain that. I don't understand that.
no, if we become vulnerable, hey, don't be a pussy, man up, right? So don't be gay, right? Just because you wanted to be vulnerable and you say, hey, I'm getting stressed. So in a way, for a lot of guys, we just end up pretending that everything is fine.
So let me digress a bit. So how many men have actually come up to you and said, hey, I'm going through a tough time now, this is... How many men have done that to you? Because men generally don't do it, right?
Yeah. We've got 30,000 clients. I've probably coached 5 people divorce. Wife cheated, right? And then I'm not sure what to do, right? I got one recently. We started the Men 360 community, and he married someone. Wife is a lawyer, had an affair with another lawyer, used the law against him. He got jailed a couple of days.
Oh, wow.
Right? And she took everything. So when you try to highlight this, I'm saying, hey, this is not right. And again, like people projecting, my husband tak bayar nafkah, padahal muka lah dia kena macam tu. It's two completely different issues. Right? So when I say women are not that innocent, a lot of people get upset. Right? And since my divorce, I've dated more than 100 women. I'm not proud of it, but I did it really out of curiosity because, I solved the property puzzle. I can buy property that make money, my eyes closed, right? I can run businesses. I can build systems. But woman is a very interesting subject. Right.
Well, if you can solve that, you'll make $1 billion. You know why I tell you this? And I'll tell you this, I have the right to speak about this because I'm a twin. I'm born with a twin sister.
Oh.
I'm born with a twin sister. So I always tell people, like, you know what? I have my feminine side, which is my twin sister. So I don't think it's as simple as that. Like, they're just made differently. And you said it just now, and we have to accept this. We are simpletons. Liverpool, I have my kacang, I have my kopi. I am in heaven. You know what I mean?
Simple.
Or I am in the gym. It's... But women are different. They're highly complex. They wear baju. Hey, what if that person don't like? We don't think like, no. Like today, I came and said, I'm wearing it, We don't think like, because we're confident. Right? I'm the age where I actually don't care. People know who I am or they don't know. It doesn't make a difference to me. But women are different. Everything is different. Yeah. So, but we are judging them on our rules, which is also unfair. And the reverse, they cannot understand us.
Yeah. I went to my favorite steakhouse yesterday because a friend came and visited me in Singapore. Midpoint, right? So when I was married, every time my ex-wife asked me, what do you want to have for your birthday? Midpoint. So it's the same answer every year. Because why? It is my birthday. I want to have something predictably good. I don't want to try a new place whereby the food sucks and we end up paying like 500 ringgit, $1,000. It's not worth it for me. Now, if a guy does the same, bring your wife to the exact same spot every year. Because we think, hey, you told me last year you like it.
Yeah.
You didn't love me anymore. You don't make effort for me. You apa pun tak buat.
Exactly what I'm saying. Like to me, I can eat the same thing every day.
Exactly. It's the same coffee. It's the same eggs in the morning. It's the same routine. No problem.
Yeah. So it's just that they are wired a bit differently. Like, because I guess hormonally also, because I speak a lot about this, hormonally also it's very different. And then when they get to 40, 50, and then the estrogen depletes, and then they're going through this hormonal thing. It's the same with men, you know? Like, since we're talking about this, hormones are everything. And, Malaysian men love their barang, barang bagus and the capsule this, capsule that. Malaysian men love it,
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Pil kuda,
And
yeah.
all that, pil kuat and all that. But do you know why? Because that, to me, actually your libido is a direct correlation of your health. I speak about this a lot.
Agreed.
Testosterone levels, and I do checks and stuff. I'm 60 years old, right? So, and I lift weights, and I've been doing it all my life. And that's that. So men are wired differently. So if you're a regular man, and then suddenly umur dah 40 kan, kita punya testosterone level is just depleting year on year.
Yep.
Suddenly your estrogen levels are high. You are becoming a little bit more emotional. And then when your wife tells you this, suddenly you get very emotional. You see what I'm saying or not? Your masculinity is slowly dropping because it's hormonal.
And people don't get it.
They don't get it. So I always tell people, hey, look, go and get your hormone levels checked. Go and check your free test. Go and check your this. It all can be resolved. You might need TRT or, you might have to change your diet a bit. The stats on depleting hormones, testosterone level for men is shocking.
Yeah.
We are walking around with 40% less than what our fathers had.
Correct. Largely because of diet.
Largely because of sedentary lifestyle.
Correct.
Largely because of food,
Yeah.
water, this. But nobody's addressing it, what?
Yeah.
That's the reason. Yesterday, 3 days ago, I saw Jabatan Agama Islam Selangor says that 70% of divorce is lelaki mati pucuk. I'm not kidding. I was looking at this. 70%. I said, what? But it could be true. I mean, I don't know what the percentage. Somebody's not there marking, say, hey, you want can't get it up. I don't think so. But it's a real problem. And because men's hormone levels are low post 35, 40, and the women are expecting them to operate at that optimum level, suddenly they are being judged on that,
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying or not?
Yes.
So,
We did, Dr. Sanjeev. We talked about this. So I think one of the most surprising finding for me, I learned something new today, is that women's libido actually went up between 35 to 45.
yeah, because they're getting into that. You see,
And laki jatuh.
Yes.
So it's like the exact opposite.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
Bro, show your hand, bro, like that. To the camera.
Okay.
Look at this color, guys.
Okay. Good.
Ni tangan orang angkat beban berat, guys.
I lift weights, So people ask me why I lift weights because I want to keep my hormonal levels very high.
Correct.
Because hormones is use it or lose it.
Correct.
So you're saying like orang umur 30, 35 nak cerai sebab sifat kejantanan dia orang dah turun, and it's not because they want to. They don't realize. So education now suddenly becomes important,
Yeah.
right?
Oh man, I don't work out 10 years ago. I was a chubby guy. The testosterone went down, performance in bed all went down. As a
Too much
result.
information for me, but I'll take your word for it.
I'm quite honest about it, right?
Okay.
I'm quite honest about it. And again, I share my aib, not because I happy to share my aib. I'm just saying it's what I go through.
Okay.
And you can fix it.
Yes.
You
Yes.
can absolutely fix it, right? Because, I went from that to, today, a lot better, a lot fitter. Performance in that department also improved multiple times.
I'll take your word for it again.
Yeah. And I think as a man, unfortunately, I've got bad news, I've got good news. The bad news here is that in order to be deemed as a good man, you have to be a Superman. Fitness in check, you have to be good in bed, you cannot be fat, you have to earn enough, you have to be in a position whereby you have certain level of status. In order to be deemed as a capable, high caliber man, just like Jake. Right?
Alhamdulillah.
Huh? So that's the bad news, right? The expectation on man doesn't go down over time, it will actually go up. Right? Good news here is that we all start from zero. Right? We all start from zero. You choose how you want to be in your 50s, you choose how you want to be in your 60s, you choose how you want to be in your 70s. Right? So if you are going to begin to work out in your 40s, you're going to have a pretty good 60s.
Definitely, definitely.
Right.
What's the saying? The saying the best time to plant the tree is now. 20 years ago, the second best time is now. So yeah, you're right.
Right? So one of the things that I read, which I thought was a bit shocking, was the relationship between longevity
And
and your muscle
quad
in your
size. Quad-
thighs. Yeah.
Yeah, quad size.
Right.
Because predominantly your legs are the largest muscles. So as we age, we lose muscle. It's called sarcopenia.
Yeah.
So sarcopenia means as your body starts to cannibalize your own muscle.
Correct.
So that's why I lift weights. And so
Correct.
and I keep telling people to lift weights. Women get worried. So my next podcast, I'm actually having a 52-year-old female bodybuilder talking about how important it is to lift weights. So the thing that we have to understand is men are afraid to talk about this.
Correct.
They won't even tell their friends, hey, aku punya, I've probably 3 friends of mine, and I'm quite an expert on hormones.
Yeah.
And 3 friends of mine would have told me, hey, bro, I got no libido. lah. I got no drive. lah. Because you know why? It makes them feel less of a man. So I guess that's really important for men to come to speak up. And like you said, there are testosterone replacement therapy. There's macam-macam. Yeah.
So yeah, I think one of the best things you can do in your 40s or 50s is to, number one, lift weights. Lift really heavy weights as much as you could, and do a lot of leg days, right?
Completely.
do
Leg
a lot.
deadlifts.
Because there's a direct correlation between the muscle of your legs with how long do you live, and more importantly, the quality of your life.
Yes.
Right? Because the moment you lose, this is how it happens, right? When you are elderly, your hips muscles go down,
You break it.
jatuh, you break it,
Die.
and then you die within 2 or 3 years. That's when the complication starts. The reason why that happens is that when you jatuh and you break something, you are no longer mobile. When you are no longer mobile, you can't see your friends. You cannot socialize anymore. Mentally, it completely fucks you up lah, basically, right? And you think you're a burden, you'd rather die and all of that lah. So it's a
What's
downward.
our government doing to help this? That's my question. I keep saying, this. We need help from the government. But what's our government doing to do this?
I don't know, man. I don't know whether the government will do anything about it. I think our prime minister is relatively quite fit for someone,
I wouldn't.
almost 80, right? Relatively quite mobile and whatnot. But, at the end of the day, I think, we as men, you have to begin to take care of your health, because there's just no point, guys.
But where's the information coming from? 70% of Malaysia is predominantly Bumiputra, and out of that 70% of the 70% are all suburban and rural, right? Where do they get the information from? I know this because I'm well read, but you can't fault them. How are they getting the information? They only know the information because kawan aku cakap. They say, kawan aku cakap tak boleh makan nasi. That's the only thing they know. You know what I mean? So
Jangan makan nasi.
how are they getting the information? So to me, this is a bigger issue. And you can already see Malaysia is the second most obese country in Southeast Asia, which has a strong correlation, sexual health, men's wellness, libido, and all that. This means the future generation of men is gone already. So macam mana pula? So it is we are caught in a limbo here.
Yeah. What do you think? Why men are weaker today? Why do you think men are less adventurous today than, let's say, for example, like yourself? What do you think is the driving behavior of this?
I don't fault anybody. I think it's a societal issue. Bukan cakap lelaki ni saja dia nak buat-buat macam tu. Kalau kita punya pengaruh, I always say, we are the average of the 5 people we hang out with. Who are your 5 friends? Kalau kawan-kawan kita gamer, kita pun macam tu lah. Kalau kawan kita kutu, kita pun macam tu lah. So Alhamdulillah, so when I was young, my neighbors were sports people. Sportsmen, my neighbor was Jasila, this one. So I got into that very fast. And we had no money, so there was no flamboyance or anything. Lah.
Yeah, no
so
video game.
so it is a generational and societal thing. So if you ask me, men are not doing it on purpose. It is just that we are afraid. We are afraid to come out and tell the true story. We are afraid that we will fail. We are afraid that we will be judged. We are afraid. We are judged so much. You said it just now. Oh lah, our wife is judging us, our neighbor is judging us. Dia ni tengok lah, kereta dah 10 tahun baru pakai kereta Myvi. You know what I mean? Not that Myvi is a bad car, they're quite expensive. So, but
It's the king of highways in Malaysia.
both my kids drive Myvis anyway. So I think that we need better role models. I really think so. I think we need role models. I like Alif Sata. KJ is coming out and doing all these things. At his age, Alif Sata is doing all these things. Shah Hamdan is doing this. We need more role models. And that's what we don't have. Who are our role models then? So, who can you think about? Another singer? I don't need another singer. Who are our role models?
Influencers who flex money and cars.
Yes.
Right? So, which is completely wrong.
And the founders, and this is supposed to be life. No, and you see, again, like I said, who are our people who are going to influence me? Nobody. Tak ada. In fact, in that book, chapter 13 is about KJ. I was so impressed that he reinvented his life. I wrote a chapter about him. It's about, if you watch 8 Mile, that movie is how about B-Rabbit suddenly took the power away from him and he laughed at his own self. And KJ did that. So to me, it's the same thing. We need better role models. Who are our role models? Tak ada siapa. My time, I grew up with Arwah Arumugam, Mokhtar Dahari, Suchinan. I was in the stadium. Oh my God. Sekarang siapa?
Who taught you leadership? Who taught
My
or
mother.
influenced you? Your mother.
My mother.
Wow.
My mother is my best teacher because leadership is not a trait. Leadership is, to me, action.
Okay.
Leadership is not task-based. I tell people like management is a task-based. Leadership is how you influence people. It's the positive influential ability. So it's not something I learned. I was a bad leader, but I learned how to become a good leader. So, and all leaders, if you see, it's really interesting. If you see leaders walk into a room, you can tell whether they're high testosterone leaders or what. Obama. The way he walks in and hello, hi, how are you? And then, of course, I don't want to mention leaders in this country, but you can already see. So leadership also requires that.
KJ has that?
Yes, KJ He's
has-
doing all the right things.
Yeah.
So if you think about it, leaders are like alpha in the pack, right? The alpha in the pack is always the most fittest. We need leaders like that. So I guess if you ask me, where do I learn my leadership? I actually got it from my mother, not from my father.
Okay. Interesting. What was the behavior that was shown or the lessons that was taught by her to you that, that build up that leadership skill, your confidence as a person growing up? Because you're undertaking a lot of completely different things, bro.
Yes. So
You're like
so it's called a
fearless.
hustle. So my mother taught me how to hustle from a young age.
Okay.
So I used to jual nasi lemak, I used to jual nasi goreng, curry puff. Weekend I'll be
Kau jual?
Yeah.
You jual?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
My mother will make and I'll go and sell. So, so I learned this. I learned this skill at a very young age.
Oh, direct sale.
Yes. So I learned that I was very good to talk. Pakcik makan, pakcik ambil dua lah. So I learned this. I learned this from a very young age. And my mother had to do it because we were poor.
Were you always that tall? So bila suruh orang ambil dua, dia
My height spurt was when I was form 4, form 5. So yeah,
just asking, bro.
no, and my mother was taught me that this will pass. That's the best saying she told me. This will pass because kadang-kadang kita dah, we used to count our money and suddenly kita tinggal RM20 je bulan tu. Then says, Ma, how do we do this? Dia tak apa, this will pass, don't worry. So I learned that everything is possible.
If you will pass.
Yeah. Okay. This will pass, don't worry. My mother is 84 this year.
Right.
She's alhamdulillah, she's still okay, she's still good, she walks about and all that. And I always remind her, I says, Ma, you taught me a lot more than you know. She said, no lah, Indian bed. No lah. So leadership is one thing, but I am more disturbed with the quality or the lack of knowledge of men generally in this country on their health and their hormone. What if 50% of all these problems was hormonal?
Just low T's.
Low T is the issue.
Yeah.
Low T is the issue. You know,
So-
how many times have you heard somebody say, "Hey, you need to go and check your free test levels"?
Not very often.
Because you know why? One, they are afraid to get the answer.
Correct.
You know, like people want to go for medical checkup. They will train for 2 weeks before they go to a medical checkup. It's the same thing. But I urge every man who's hearing this, please go and check your testosterone levels. If it's low, you're not going to die. You can just ask the doctor, how do I increase my levels? And usually it's a jab or something like that you need to do once a week or once a month. Or testosterone.
Do you believe in jab?
Yeah. It's testosterone replacement therapy is very, very important. I had a friend who I introduced to, went and checked, and he was always in a bad mood. Always in a bad mood. I said, dude, what's wrong with you, lah? What's wrong with you? It's about mood there. And then something emotional to cry and all that. No. So went and checked. It was super low. Went on TRT, testosterone replacement therapy. And he's still on it, very low dosages. Quality of life improved. He's happy,
He can get it up.
It's not about getting it up, I think I want to be very, very clear about this. Libido is an indicator of your health, but testosterone is more than that. It's your heart function, it's your mood. It regulates your what do you call that? How you utilize your food, everything correlates to testosterone. It is, to me, the most hormone. And what happens? We are stressed. Okay, so when we are stressed, what happens is our cortisol level goes up. Our cortisol is an antagonist to our testosterone. So cortisol naik, testosterone turun, growth hormone turun, semua turun, barang pun turun. Then what happens? But nobody wants to explain. So they keep quiet. So they go for the quick fix. What's the pill you're saying? Pill quad.
Pil kuda, Viagra.
And it's Viagra, it's Tadalafil, it's Viagra, it's Cialis, it's all that. And you don't know where these fellas are getting it from, which is another thing that they're putting into your body. So, one, fear. Kalau aku cakap dengan orang pasal benda ni, mungkin aku ni tak laki lagi. So I guess an awareness should be made for males above 40. I said, you know what? Go and check once a year. Go and check. I do my checks all the time. I'm borderline now. Okay, 60, okay lah, kan?
I have a theory, like, because I don't know your friend, right? He's probably really depressed if he couldn't get it up,
Obviously.
right? So which is why he's completely stressed lah, because in a way that's how we evaluate our manhood lah, That's what being a man.
What's next then?
Yeah. There's nothing else. There's nothing else. If you cannot get it up, there's nothing else. As a man.
What's next? And then, and usually I tell people the best way to evaluate it is in the morning, because in the morning is when your testosterone levels are highest. And if you don't have an erection at that time, son, so usually your test levels are really low. I tell people this, and we always think that Tongkat Ali is the fix. It's not.
It's not?
It's not. It's not. It's part and parcel of it, But go and check lah. Go and check. Don't suffer in silence lah. I guess every man who's dengar ni kan, you know I'm talking to you. Kalau you rasa, you know what? I don't feel 18, the quality of your life will improve. Why I can do so many things is because I'm a high test guy. I can get up at 5:30 from subuh to night. I'm working and, I'm training and I'm this. And how do you do it? The second thing is sleep. Second thing is sleep, which is I struggle with a bit. I have to improve my sleep.
Okay. How many hours do you get per night?
Sometimes 6 to 7, but it's not the sleep length, it's the quality of the sleep. The REM is not enough.
Right.
So I actually check it, so yeah.
Do you take any supplements?
I do. So I do. I take. Okay, so if you're talking about supplement, you want to try without. I would go with zinc, magnesium, a high-fat diet. If you want to take something, ashwagandha is good. Tongkat Ali is good. DHEA. That's it. Other than that, stay away. But go and get it checked. Go and get your test levels done. It's pretty cheap to do. One time you check, you go and eat Saddam nasi kandar, you can cover your check up already.
I used to take a lot. I used to take testosterone and all that. It improves my workout and all that. Then I heard about Shilajit.
Shilajit is fulvic acid, which is from the Himalayas.
Yeah.
It is a mineral, but the only problem with Shilajit is to get the really good stuff.
Yeah.
It's very good, but you can substitute it for fulvic acid.
So I took that. I removed everything else.
What
do you think?
You take zinc. Take zinc, take D3.
Zinc and D3.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that is the precursor to building testosterone and a high-fat diet. So see, this old thing like, I'm sorry, vegetarians, but seriously, vegetarianism or veganism doesn't help your T levels.
Of course.
You must eat eggs, you must eat meat, you must eat high fat, you eat good fat. So to
Beef,
build your, beef,
eggs, superfood.
So I'm a proponent of that. Yeah.
What's your workout routine? For example, talking about heavyweights, right? So
Not really. So to me, I've changed because I'm 60 years old this year. Those days I used to train all the time, and these days I realized that less is more.
Yeah.
So I train for like today at about 6:30. I'll have a workout for about 30 minutes, and usually it's very short and high intensity. That means I will do probably 2 sets or 3 sets of chest, just assuming and I'll make sure that I can't move anymore. Then I'll drop it. Then I'll get to another exercise. Because you know why? We grow and we recover. It is called law of diminishing returns. If this is a glass of water, I pour until full, I cannot pour anymore. But some people keep pouring 6 days a week. I'm not a competing bodybuilder. So to me, I just want to look good in a t-shirt, look great, that's it. And keep my health. So recovery is more important for me. So I train 3 times a week in the gym, but I walk every day 10,000 steps.
10,000 minimum. Lah.
This is 7 km. Lah. Yeah.
And you're about to be 60 this year.
Inshallah.
He looks great for 60. I wish when I'm 60, I look half as good as him.
Yeah, you look great. You look great.
I do my back days.
But you should bring him. Must bring him
There's a
for
gym upstairs. If first you should go.
heavy duty. Right, so I follow Mike Menzer's methodology.
Mike Menzer is HIT. While I'm such a proponent of Mike Menzer, although I didn't like the way he died.
Yep.
Mike Menzer is train every 3 or 4 days, give it your best, and less is more. Mike did work.
Yeah.
So it's very similar to what I do.
Yeah. I now train twice a month. And I'm growing. So weird.
That's okay.
Yeah, but I think I should up the frequency just because I think from a fitness point of view, I just like to have a little bit more cardio going.
You see, okay, I'll just, see, to me is,
Woo!
okay, this is classic. I just want to tell you, I don't train my biceps.
Same. Same. But is that? That's what you do when you do heavy duty, guys.
Yeah, I train heavy duty.
Yeah. So you gotta. It's not about 3 hours in the gym every day.
Yeah. It's
Right? It's like is that
20 minutes like got my life. 25 minutes
correct?
I'm done. Yeah.
Yeah. But I think as you get above 40, leg days are very important.
Yeah.
If you really don't have the time, leg
Just
days.
train your legs. Yeah.
Yeah, because like I said, the more muscle you have in your thighs, there's a direct correlation with your longevity and the quality of life as you reach 60, right? Any tips for young people today that is lost? You've seen it all.
Okay.
You have done it all.
Not really. I would like to think not. Okay. So my philosophy on life is very simple, and I this is advice I give CEOs.
Okay.
Yeah, I give CEOs. Number one,
Dengar guys, see you.
this is very simple. It's called stacking. So don't go like during Ramadan. I did it on purpose. I lost 10 kilos, exactly 10 kilos in 1 month. Okay.
Shit.
So really, and I prove it could work. But what I'm saying is don't do things like that. Do things called stacking. Start with one habit and improve slowly. Because most of us give up. Most of us want to do, aku nak hilang 10 kilo. Don't start with 10 kilos. Start with 1 kilo and then progress up. Read 1 page of a book and stack up. When I was writing the book, I almost gave up many times and told myself I need to do. So my style is do one thing, then add on to it, and then add on to it. You will see your life change You know, people ask me, what's your next? What's your next? I told myself, I'm going to write a book by October. I'm doing it. Second book's out in October. I told myself I'm going to do this. I told myself I'm going to do that. And I'm doing it. So, next, set goals. When I mean set goals,
First stack, second set goals, okay?
you need to write down. And this is, to me, the most simplest thing that I do. Every night before I sleep, I write down what I want to do tomorrow. It can be as simple as call your mother. Okay? So I write it down, the 10 things. Next day I go through it. At the end of the day, I check. I audit. This simple thing has made me millions. Just because I'm following it. If I don't do it, I have to audit myself. Why didn't you do it? Huh? You know, so it's self-regulation. Number 3
Beautiful.
is stop playing victim. Nobody cares. Stop being a victim. And don't go and complain in social media.
Especially if you're a
because
man.
nobody, don't mind me, I curse, fucking cares. You know
And the
what?
people who care are glad that you have
Yes, they're all with popcorn watching.
Wah, padan muka.
In my darkest hour also, I will never complain. I will just carry on life. You know why? I'm not going to give you that opportunity.
Woo! Bro, same mentality, bro.
Yeah, so to me,
Yeah.
it's not your problem.
Yeah.
So once you adapt this, then you have alpha mentality. To me, it's like, look, I'm made to win. Then the last tip I'll give you is, this is the most important. Besides, I think the most important is prayer. You know, to me, my whole life is because I'm preparing for the afterlife. But the last tip I'll give you is audit your friends. You look around you. If the average of your 5 friends, if you are bringing them down, you level up. If the average of the 5 friends is low below yours, get rid of them. Find different people. Because let's be honest, you want to see your true friends? Try to do well in life. Masa you naik sikit je, dah lupa diri lah. Dah sombong lah. Instead of celebrating you, hey, you're doing well, bro. I'm so happy you bought the Maserati. I'm so happy you bought the house. You don't need it lah. You can already see the smirk in their face. So to me, I have 4 friends who I trust with my life, and we help each other. So audit your friends, because you know why? Usually, and I'm being very honest, the 4 or 5 people will drag you down. They are the one who don't want you to make it. They are trying to keep you surface down. Betul tak? Tak payahlah pergi workout. Tak payahlah ni. Your cameraman's listening to me and says, shit, I got to change my 4 friends. It's true. It is true. We have to audit that. I am not here to become popular. I am not chasing fame. I've seen money, I'm doing this. To me, this is dakwah, this is amal, this is my din.
Oh.
You know, to me is, when I came out of a plane the other day and somebody tapped me, Datuk Jake, I said, yes, I watch your podcast, I see you on LinkedIn. Thank you for being honest.
You know, there's a feeling.
Alhamdulillah.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. People don't understand the level of happiness you get by just people coming to you and say, hey, thank you for sharing.
I can't take anything with me. I understand this. I understood. That's why when people pass away, my friends, my Muslim friends, or even yesterday, Aaron Pinto's mother-in-law passed away, I go first. You know why? To me, I want to see at that particular point what's happening. You realize they've lost everything. What is happening? So when I understand this, I understand suddenly these things are not important. What is important? When I die, I'm sorry I'm being a bit religious, I usually don't. But when I die and I go and meet my maker, he must look at me and says, Jake Abdullah. My name is Yaakob actually. Yaakob, amazing man. I planned for you this, you've done this. Alhamdulillah, come in. You know, so instead of, apa ni? Takkan kau juara TikTok je.
Juara TikTok.
You know, so that's my advice. Guys, you can do much better. You are underperforming. Whatever you think you are, whatever problems you have, somebody's got worse. Somebody wants your life. That's the thing that I learned. You think you're doing bad, somebody will want your life. Stop complaining, level up, be a man.
I think one of the most, there's a lot of golden nuggets there, right? But I think probably the most underrated is a small checklist or to-do list and then auditing this.
Oh yes, I teach CEOs this.
Right.
Trust me, they are shocked.
Yeah.
Then they come and see me and says, "Can I see it for you last week?" Says, "How many have you done?" It can be as I need this merger done, this M&A done. I said, "How many?" Because you know what happens. Like I give you an analogy of why this works. So I count calories. Okay, I do a macro count every day, but I stopped doing it because right now I can do it by memory. I pick up something like a cup of coffee. I know how many calories, what's the macros, what's the macro count, because I've done it so much. So what I'm trying to assimilate is they build habits. They already understand. Hey, I got a comment, So, but without that, suddenly you see time has passed. Time has passed. We are waiting for another December 31st to start another toxic cycle of resolutions.
New year, new me.
No, and that's the thing. Like, I teach Silat. I do a little bit of Silat. I'm so interested in Malay culture and in Silat and stuff like this. So, my students ask me, why am I good? Okay. Kobe Bryant, right? Muscle mentality.
Yeah.
So, it's actually that. If I am practicing for 30 years, every day 1 hour, how good do you think I will be? And you're practicing, you come to my class and you perform for 1 hour. You understand? Suddenly the gap is getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and you can't catch me. You'll never be able to catch me because I'm becoming very, very good. So I told them, so what do I do? They asked me. I said, start now. Lah.
I think we did this Man 360 community, right? So I've got a couple of young men came to me and say, how do I get your confidence? Right? So that checklist thing is very useful to build up your confidence, because if you promise yourself you're going to do 5 things, it can be as simple as, I'm going to make my bed. I'm going to clean the house. It might be just as minuscule as that. It doesn't mean much, right?
It's not. Nothing's too small.
But the fact that you made a promise, you kept it, you delivered. Your body, your mind will tell you that this guy, if he tells you that he's going to do A, he's going to fucking do A.
Yeah, because you have delivered on your own promise.
Correct.
Yeah, so that's true. Yeah.
So I think Alex Amosi did an interview. You don't get confident by shouting affirmation in the mirror. I'm a confident man. I'm going to be a billionaire one day. Oh, fuck no.
You do it by you.
Correct.
Doing it. Yeah. So it's one ounce of action is more than a ton of talk.
Correct. By keeping the promise you make to yourself. Because if you don't keep the promise you make to yourself, then anytime you say something, you're going to say, ni borak je ni. Your subconscious mind, this guy doing this bullshit all over again, right? So
one of my, I also am a personal trainer. I coach a few CEOs. So one of the guys who
coach.
Yeah,
Okay.
So Ruben, who is the CEO of Etika, so we chat whenever I'm training him later tonight, and then he'll tell me, he says, everything you have told me you have delivered. You told me you're doing this, you delivered. You told me you're doing this, you delivered. Because I always will chat with him. How? I says, because you know why? If it's not going to happen, I will not open my mouth.
Yeah.
In Arabic, there's a word called kalam. It means express. When I express, when it comes out from my mouth, inshallah, it's happening.
Yeah.
So guys, to me is that small thing will change your life. Yeah.
And I think as a man, I think it's just very, 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 very important to keep your word. Don't make promises when you are happy. And then you tend to make promises that you can't keep.
A lot of this happened when I used to drink back in the day. But hey bro. And that's one of the reasons I quit drinking. I quit smoking about 20 years ago. 15 years ago. I quit everything because to me it's like I have to treat my body with respect and make proper decisions. Nothing good came out of drinking. I can attest to this. Although I was Muslim, I was drinking and stuff. But the best decision I made in my life was, suddenly I'm in control of my decisions.
Correct.
Hey, bro. Hey, you don't forget now you call me and never call you again. He's laughing because he did that to me.
Ouch. So yeah, I mean, jokes aside, I think I built a career not as the smartest guy, not as the most intelligent guy, not as the most innovative guy, but I think I just built a career by sticking to what I promise I say I want to do, no matter how difficult it is, right? So, we're trying to bring the company for IPO. We took investors' money. In hindsight, I should have listened to all my mentors. Don't go public, remain private. I could undo it, but it's not something that I would consider doing unless, I die, simply because, I want to keep my word. So no matter how I suffered, right, going through this particular journey, I'm choosing to be, hey, if I promise 700 people something, I better go and fucking deliver. Right? So which I think at the end of the day, if people ask, how do I want to be remembered? I want to be remembered as a person that kept his word. As simple as that. So if he says something, it's good enough.
He delivered, yeah.
He delivered. And I think if I can die with that kind of reputation, I would say I live a pretty okay life, yeah, as a man. I guess last question. In a way, you're a chameleon, right? You've changed. You've done many things. You've changed many things, And some people find it very hard to just change one thing, right? Because they're used to the routine. So there's fear of divorce, fear of starting life again, fear of starting a new career. You decided to go into entrepreneurship at COVID, which is a crazy shit. Nuts,
I didn't
right?
have to. I didn't
Right?
have to.
You didn't have to,
yeah,
right?
so-
Because
So,
So how?
yeah.
That
so,
mentality,
yeah,
right?
So again, like I said, I have a very good friend called Dakshinamurthy. He's probably one of the top, Dash, right? Dash, and he talks about entrepreneurship a lot. I think we all need to be an entrepreneur. I said just now, I was selling goreng pisang as a young boy. I was a security guard, I was a bouncer, I did many things. These things I cannot undo. But if it's for you to move is fear. So I always tell people, start a side hustle when you're working. A 9 to 5 cannot make you rich. It cannot. I worked as a CEO and all that. Start a side hustle.
We call it hustle income.
Yes. Start a side hustle. Even after 45 years, I'm still hustling as a DJ once in a while, right? Start a side hustle and then develop it and then learn as much as you can. 9 to 5 work for a company, 5 to 9 work for you. I work from morning till night. It's not going to be easy. A lot of people think they can just turn around in a year, 2 years, 3 years. Joe Rogan took 10 years before his podcast blew up. And people expecting it to do. You need the perseverance. But it is not difficult. To me, it is, you must understand that it's an ebb and flow. I do many things because I just want to see how I can do it or not. Now I'm getting into another thing, which is men's wellness also, which I'll talk about it another time. Because to me, it is neglected. I got into AI, and stuff like that. But if you want to start something new, these days, you don't have to be intelligent. We've said it. Intelligence is so overrated because you can go to ChatGPT or anything and pick it up straight away. But execution is another thing. So to me is, do you have the perseverance, the tenacity to fail fast and carry on going? So whoever wants to do this, look, it's not easy, that's why when KJ and I were talking and says, hey, bro, I want to DJ. We taught him in a week and he did it. It's possible. So put in the time, stop with your excuses. We are full of excuses, right? I always tell people, tapi, but I said, all I'm hearing is fucking excuses, man. Tell me, you're afraid. What if I fail?
It's the embarrassment.
Yeah, but
People say, see, I was right.
Yeah, but what a great point which I teach a lot of leaders. I said, take away power. It's called power ownership. What if you're not afraid? What if you're not embarrassed? I'm not embarrassed. I don't care. I don't care what you say. I don't care what you think about me. Unless you're paying my bills, shut the fuck up. That to me is my zone. Are you paying my bills? Are you going to add value to my life? No. That means anybody with a keyboard can suddenly dictate my life? Oh my God, that's a scary thing to do, isn't it? So, as a guy, look, If you want to change, go ahead. Just ask yourself, are you happy where you are? If you're not, do something about it.
You're not a tree. Fucking move.
Move, yes. Do something about it, yeah.
I'm not that old.
I'm not old, so I'm older.
Yeah. Because I want to share wisdom, but people say, fuck lah, this guy, what do you know, right? So, okay, you're just 44, you know. But at 44, I would say my biggest regret has never come from the things that I do and I feel. Does that make sense? My biggest regret has always come from the things that I should have done earlier, and I didn't do it.
Yeah.
So that has always been my biggest regret. Yeah.
I don't regret anything in life. I believe that our road has been written and we have the power to make those small changes. I give you an example. So I was playing this club that I owned in Jalan Ampang, and then Aflin caught me. I was probably drunk at that time, but I decided to change my life. Is it wrong or not? Now, ever since I got the job, I've given more than 200 people jobs. 200 people jobs. So was that a wrong decision or a right decision? Was that a godly decision or not a godly decision? So I don't want to think about this. I just want to think about, what can I do next? What can I do next? Regret. Allah, I wish I could have done that. It's past. You only got now, one.
Yeah, I got asked all the time. Do I regret divorce? Do I regret partnering with the wrong people? I say it's completely unproductive as a man. Right? You have done it. There's nothing that you can do to change.
What can you do to undo the past? If there was something to do, I would have done it.
Correct. Key is that learn from it, do better next.
I give you an example. I'm a Liverpool fan, a very strong Liverpool forward. Passed away. Diogo Jota. I caught his last game. You know, really sad. I mean, he
just got married?
Just got married. He won the Premier League, won the Nations League, and he passed away, right?
Yeah. So young.
We are all going, 28, we are all going, you know. He will be forgotten very fast, you know. In a matter of years, a year and a half, 2 years, he'll be forgotten. But that is life. You know, such a big Jota fan. I thought he was amazing, was sad, I had tears in my eyes and all that. Queen Elizabeth passed, nobody even talks about it. Michael Jackson passed, nobody. This is life. But what can you do now? What can you do now? How are you going to be remembered? You're going to be remembered by your actions that you do now. You know, somebody say, hey, you know what? Jake told me this. Cukup lah.
How do you make decisions to pursue something which is in a way completely new to you? What was your thought process in decision making?
Oh, I don't jump into things like that. I'm not a person who will jump into things.
Because I'm pretty sure there's going to be like 40-something-year-old guy. 45.
Yeah, this is you have data where you talk to people with the information, or get as much data as you can to minimize the
Don't be emotional about it, like, basically.
Yeah, precisely lah. I'll give you a simple analogy. When you like somebody and you take her home to meet your mother, you will see 101 things nice about this woman's family, really nice, very good girl, this, that. You will never say anything bad, right? Because why? You've been blinded by your myopic. Right? So it's your information and you are making sense to yourself. Because you are making sense to yourself, everything is flawed. Everything is flawed. So if I want to make a decision, I go and find out, I nak beli ni, go and check Reddit, go and check this, go and check that, go and check this, get as much as information, blah, blah, blah. Possible. I'm not saying it's going to be the right decision, but it minimizes the error. Not blindly go and support. When all word of mouth, or my friend says, hey dude, having a very good sale, you want to check it out. So I guess that's marketing line.
What if what you're trying to do is something
New.
in a way new? There is no data.
Fail fast.
Fail fast, right? So
You
just
have to
fail fast.
yeah.
Fail small, fail fast.
Yeah, it's not like I go to the casino anymore, but if you're going to the casino to actually win, then you're going to lose lah. You must be able to calculate the losses already immediately. And if you win lah, Yeah.
Okay. Fuck. Guys, there's so much golden nugget from Abang Jake.
Thank you for having me.
Datuk Jake.
No, Jake's fine.
Right.
Jake's fine.
So personally, I learned a lot, and
I did too.
I genuinely feel that when I'm 59, I want to be like him, right? As fit, as smart, as religious, as much wisdom.
No. I'm still learning. I am still learning. I really love my journey because nobody has forced. I know I don't talk about it a lot, but I'm so blessed. Every day I get up and I say, Alhamdulillah, I'm so blessed. I have another day to become a better person.
Yeah.
So thank you for having me. I really appreciate it.
I'm sure a lot of our middle-aged viewers are gonna really appreciate this interview because I
Inshallah.
think there's just so much lesson of moving forward, not looking at failure, trying new things. Don't let the previous failures from either partnership, businesses.
I have to tell you, I lost all my savings on a very bad investment about 5 years ago.
Okay.
Lost everything, and you've never heard me. It's going to be on my book, but you'll never hear me complain about it. I was wiped out. Okay, but I never complained once. I cried for about 1 hour like a little girl, but I told myself, Allah is teaching me a lesson because benda tu ada unsur riba. You understand? So I said, Allah, He protected me. So I was trying to find
I think I know the scheme you're talking about.
this thing. I'll tell you about later. So yeah.
But wow, to go, you see, to go through that at 54,
55.
55 years old, losing your life savings and then completely
I reinvented myself
reinvented yourself.
because I said Allah has got a different plan for me.
Yeah. I mean, it can happen to anyone. And I would say 90% of the people would say God is cruel.
No.
Yeah, they would, because it's easier to blame something else than say I'm
Obviously.
shit, right? Right? Because so
I'm very blessed.
Yeah.
Today, like I tell myself that we have turned my life around and I'm doing things my way and much happier. I'm a simple life, I don't have millions anymore, but I'm in such a good place,
And I always felt that somehow, I don't know whether you see this or not. And I see this with even my clients, right? We've got 30,000. I will have people who seems to have no problem with the investment. Now I've got different set of people who bought the exact same thing, always have problem. So somehow, this particular group that does not have problem are just grateful. This side, I would say, a lot more ungrateful. Some things to blame. These people did something wrong. Faizul didn't do this, and whoever doesn't do that. And my ex-husband or my ex-wife. There's always complaints. So I happen to think that somehow, and this is a bit more spiritual, that if you're a grateful person, orang Melayu cakap pandai bersyukur, reti bersyukur, irrespective of what the situation is being handed to you, life gets easier.
Yes.
I don't know how to explain it.
No, it's just plain. I'm just grateful.
Right? So you have that. I have that too. I've gone through shit in my life. You know what? I did shit. I didn't pick the right, person, whatever, right? And I just move on. I blame myself for a while. Like you, I ask, what could I have done better? How do I reflect? How do I do it better next time? And that's it. I move on. I don't complain. I don't get to tell, it's Birish fault, whoever, right? So if he fucks up, it's still my fault, right? That's just my leadership skill. Whereby when things go right, he did it right, everyone do it right. When things go wrong, me.
That's good leadership. Yeah.
Right? Because for me, I'm the leader of the company. Everything has to go through my sign-off. So if I allow it to happen, then that means it's under my watch lah. And I think you have something similar, which is why I think most people that you speak to who has worked with you probably will say something similar. Right? I will work for Jake again. Right? So I think as a man, if you adopt the approach of whereby everything's on me, you have the power to fix everything. You have a superhuman power to change everything. And if you learn how to be grateful, undergoing all of these challenges and circumstances, then this too shall pass.
That's right.
Right? From kena scam to divorce or being a victim of office politics, losing your job in your 45. This too shall
I have to say this before we end this. We don't pick and choose when we want to become Muslim. I'm so sorry about this because I always tell people this. I said, I am learning. I'm learning. Saya masih belajar ni kan. But I take everything as God's will. I learned this from the Palestinians. And they're going through. I saw a documentary and they said, this is God's will, let it be. So, but what I'm saying is when we are in a position to help, a position to do better for us, regardless of who, race, color, creed, religion, and all that, I think we owe it to ourselves to treat us better and to treat others better. The first law of in your plane is when there's a son, put the thing on yourself first before putting it to a kid.
Yes.
That's actually such the analogy of life.
Yeah.
That treat yourself better if you want others to treat you better. Treat yourself with respect first. Most of us want respect from somebody else first, but we don't respect ourselves. As a man, respect yourself. And what does respect means? Taking care of your mind, body, and soul. Yeah.
So when people look at you, people know.
Yeah.
This guy took his life a little bit more seriously. He doesn't give excuses. No, my dream is to build a company that can donate $1 billion.
Inshallah.
Right? So that's my plan for the afterlife.
Amal, yes.
My amal, right? I want to go to heaven. And still work in progress. Like what you said, I was born a Muslim, but I wasn't a Muslim. I wasn't a practicing Muslim in the beginning, right?
Don't judge. I'm still learning.
I'm trying to be better. I want to marry one day.
Inshallah.
Right? Supaya tak tua buat dosa. Right? So jemput ataupun tak depends. Tengoklah. I want to live a public or private life at that point of time. Right? But I'm at the end of the day, I think as a man you have to learn to be grateful. You have to learn to pick yourself up when there's no one to go and do it, because most of the time I think you are going to be alone.
Yeah, so that's why this kind of podcast and stuff like is very important for support, because you're not alone. I think that if you reach out to any of us through any, I will reply everybody in my own time, and I'm sure you do too. So that you need to understand that you're not alone. I think that's really important.
So guys, this is the book of Jake, right? Read it. I think there's a lot of great rules. I mean, it's coming from a man who has done it all, changed industry, remarried, reinvent his life, lost
Everything.
God, found God, right?
God. Never
right?
lost God, didn't know God, found God.
Didn't know didn't know God, found God, right? Yeah, we never lose him. Yeah, he's always there, right? And the second book is coming up.
And October, it's called Be Uncomfortable. I always feel that people perform better when they are uncomfortable. So comfort is, to me, the thief of any possibility in your life.
Yeah.
So I put myself in very uncomfortable situations to grow.
That's the best way to learn. And in fact, I get uncomfortable if things go too well. I think maybe it's just a habit.
It's true. I wouldn't have done this if I had my money.
Yeah. Well, guys, we wanted honest conversation. We have honest conversation, right? So, like I said, there's reason why God put certain things in our life at that particular point of time, so that, at the end of the day, then it's up to us to take the lesson that we get out of that.
We are not grateful for those moments. I will tell you why. We are only grateful when things go well. When things don't go well, we are so short-sighted. And I was short-sighted also. I'll tell you one story, very before we end. So I was in UK to catch the game, and then we were staying in Manchester because we couldn't get a hotel in Liverpool.
Right.
So we were staying in Manchester, my son and I. So I crossed the road to get some food, and then there was this brother's doing some dakwah there. It's a strange story, okay? So I went there, and this guy passed me the book. He passed me a pamphlet. I said, Assalamu alaikum. He says, Assalamu alaikum, my brother. This is for you. You know what the book said? Riba, sins of Islam. Riba is interest. And that's how I lost my money.
This is after you had lost.
Yeah, this is
Right
long after. But this was just a few months ago. And I said, Allah Akbar. My God, you're still reminding me, yeah? You're still reminding me. So I was very thankful. So now I have come to the point where I don't regret it at all. Alhamdulillah, I'm so fortunate.
I've got another set of questions. So I think because we have never asked this, right? How's your relationship with your children?
Very good.
All of them.
All of them.
First marriage, until now.
Very good. My children are very good children. In fact, even my stepchildren, I'm very close to my stepchildren. I'm close to my father-in-law, my mother-in-law. I wish my relationship with some of my siblings were better, but But with my children, they're amazing. My son's like me, tall, 6 feet footballer, very active. You know, he's studied law, but he's doing broadcast. My daughter's doing finance. My step's daughter is going to have a baby. Good family. So again, to me, I'm happy that way. I'm
Very, very, very blessed. But I have to ask, how did you do it? What's your parenting style? Because we've never had a guest.
okay. So
Right?
I'm not strict with my children. I tell you a funny story, lah. My youngest daughter is 20 years old. 2 months ago, she told me, she says, Papa, I need gym shoes. I need to go to the gym. Huh? Why? So now I want to go to the gym because I want to work out. I said, why? She says, no, because I want to work. I said, why? Because I always see you working out. So to me I don't tell, they watch. They watch me working. They watch me. So, jangan buat ni, jangan buat tu. I tak pernah buat macam tu. I puasa, I tak pernah cakap dengan orang berpuasa. I puasa, I work out. So they are watching the father. They're watching the father working hard. They're watching the father with all this. And I'm very, last week when I spent at KJ, they all came. My stepchildren came and all that. So I guess lead by example.
Okay. What a phenomenal advice.
You can't be
saying one thing.
a false prophet.
Correct,
No,
yeah.
kau jangan buat, kau jangan isap rokok, tapi kat belakang kau isap rokok. Kau feel. My children don't smoke, don't drink, because you know why? All they're growing up, they never saw me do it. So again, like I said, blessings. Mungkin I tak, berada macam dulu, tapi syukur, alhamdulillah, my children are great children.
So, humor me one thing, right? Sebab you have a job, then you go do hustle thing, and then you do coaching. So you must not have that much time with them,
Yeah, true.
So
They're already adults,
right?
yes.
Which
But we chat, we talk. The time that we spend is quality time. They know. So anything that my daughter will message me, Pa, I need this. Yeah, sure. We talk. Pa, what's your advice on this? Yeah. So I'm always there for them. I don't say, I got no time. So parents are like that. And one thing, I try to be there for them. These days you can communicate wherever you are. So whenever we have time, we spend quality time.
because you see, people, I got a lot of flack for saying that if the man wants to go for futsal, let him be.
Yeah.
So I get a lot of hate from women. I'm probably the most hated guy in Singapore for it, right? But my whole point is that if the guy wants to be healthy for the family, number one, why not? Mental health, number two. Number three, he is that you have done all of his part, right? Nafkah dan apa semua tu, everything is okay at home. So why not, right? There's a thought out there that you have to spend many hours a day with your children, which I completely disagree, right?
Depends on which stage.
Right.
My children are all adults already. Right? When they were younger, yes, I did spend time and all that. But when I go for the silat class, I'll take my daughter.
Okay, so how young? So okay, this is a very, very important subject, right? Because a lot of people don't speak about parenting, bro.
Yeah, so to me, it is the impressionable age. The impressionable age for children is when they are between 10 to 14, 10 to 15. That's when they start to develop the skills. My children, if you ask me now in retrospect, watch me become a better man at that age. I was gymming, I was going for martial arts, I was doing hiking. What are you doing, Baba? I'm doing this. They saw how I treat people. They saw the people that came to my house. These things I can't teach. You know what I mean? So impressionable age, because that's when there's a formative
10 to 14,
age.
yeah?
10 to 14, 10 to 15, formative age, where they are pubescent, prepubescent and pubescent. That time they're hormonal, they're watching all this, the signals are coming in. Then 16, 17. Those age you don't capture, you're not there for them. If you give them an iPad and sit down and watch TV, you can see your kids turn out to be morons. I'm sorry to say this.
10 to 14.
If you're not there, and you don't blame the kid, it's you. These parents, Anna, I spoke about this today, somebody got whacked me. And I said, I'm telling you the truth.
Yeah.
This dopamine effect of all this is terrible. My son called me, Pa. He's 25, good footballer. Father's Day, let's go play football. I said, I haven't played football in so long, 25 years. Come, we'll play. So I followed him play. I had a great time. He bonded, this, that. And my son's just like me. He's just like Liverpool fan. We travel together. And we get along so well. Same thing. So I'm blessed.
Very.
I'm blessed. Even with my stepchildren, I get along really well.
Very.
I'm blessed. So if you ask me, have I lost? No.
Very.
So much.
I really want to thank you for sharing. I've got teenagers growing up. I've got 16. I've got 10. Right, year old.
Just be there for them.
Yeah. I'm not there with them most of the time.
When I say be there for them, that means when they need your help.
Yes.
When you're 16 years old, they think they're 25 lah. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
let's not kid around the bush lah. They think they know the world, but just be there for them.
Yeah.
So and allow them to make mistakes.
Yeah.
My
My parenting style here is that I'm not going to be there every time, but I will be there
Then you need me.
when you really need me.
Yeah, that's fine.
Right? And so far, I think we've had wonderful conversations.
That's good.
There are things that she tells me that she never tell anyone. Best friends, stress at school. So I'm quite grateful. The 10-year-old, too much iPad. So too much iPad. For now, I have to really tone it down. Anyway, thank you.
Thank you.
I
Thank you.
think-
Thank you for having me.
I think we're quite honored to have you spitting life lessons and not theory, but shit that you have done, what works, what doesn't work. And I think myself, I'm forever grateful.
Thank you.
I
Thank
think
you for
the
having me.
audience
Thank you
would
very-
actually
thank
be
you very
very, very grateful.
Thank
too.
you very much.
Brother, thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Yeah. And call me for your wedding.
Doakan guys. Niat baik. People will say, right, kalau niat baik dipermudahkan, jibaka tak pernah betul, guys. Niat baik tu, syaitan tu datang to change your mind tu, you have no idea. Right? That's why people say waktu bertunang tu is paling challenging actually. So it's not true. The test will come.
That's true. All the best, though. All the best.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. Thank you.